Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Markeia McCarty, and welcome to Hunter's Gathering. This is your chill one stop shop for Hunter's entertainment and anything you'd really want to know behind the games of any of the really great games that you see and have seen at conventions and that own and everything like that. So, for Hunter's Gathering, uh, if you were able to join us last show, you know that we kind of gave you a rundown of what was going on with us, this year, and then in specifically Gen Con. But normally at the top of the show, we're going to give you kind of a recap of one of our ongoing campaigns. But right before we do that, I do have a little bit of news that I want to give. Amongst other things, yes, it is still 2020. I think there's approximately 5 years left within this year. So we will have a lot of really great Hunters Entertainment things coming to you within the rest of the decade that is 2020. But right now, for this week, we just want you to know that yes, the Gods of Metal Ragnarok is in the series of playtests right now. We are doing some internal playtests with it. I've personally been able to build a character and have some fun being my own version of a rock god. And yes, I have a rock flute because if y'all didn't know, I'm a flautist. And I was able to carry that over into my rock persona. So with that, we are playtesting within our small circle at Hunters Entertainment, but we are trying to find some individuals to playtest with. More on that soon, and we do have plans to incorporate some sneak previews of some of our game mechanics soon. So, yes, definitely look forward to that. And then, just for those of us out there that aren't familiar with Ragnarok, let's go ahead and show the trailer for you just so that we're all on the same rock page. Ah, yes, all of that. And okay, so that you know, pre-orders are supposed to happen in 2020, but as we know, 2020 is 10 years long still at this point that we are in. But like I said, we will have more information coming for you soon. But one of the things that I know that you want to know more about is Altered Carbon, in particular about the Kickstarter exclusive backpack that was the Hello Unicorn. I know that this was a personal favorite of mine. I had a chance to look, not touch because we're in quarantine times, but look at this Hello Unicorn backpack, and I will say that I would buy it all over again. I was original backer for for just for that backpack. The game is awesome. The game is awesome. I wanted that backpack. But yes, so that you know, we have sent off the Kickstarter exclusive backpack to compliance. This is to make sure that it is safe for all, made of safe materials, no barbed wire or something in there, because they put that in apples and Halloween or whatnot. So making sure that all of that is good. And Hunters Entertainment will be receiving some samples soon, and we'll be able to share that with you. So that is really, really awesome. And we are this close to finishing this wondrous item and then like also bringing that to you. So cool. That is the news that we have to share for this particular month within 2020. And I say that as in this is a weekly show, but every week is a month. So what we are going to go over into is that we're going to go into our recap for Hunters Presents, which is our Tuesday night campaign. Right now, we are doing Outbreak Undead. So that is every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. PT, that you can enjoy this intrepid, adventurous crew trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse. More about the survivors and the zombies, but it kind of goes hand in hand. And we have a special guest with us tonight that we are going to talk about Hunters Presents recap. But also after that, we're going to talk about building your own Outbreak Undead character. So right now we have Alex Huilman. He is a man of many hats, project manager, writer, developer, community guy. Alex Huilman. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
For Hunters Entertainment. It's so joyous to have you with
I'm
us
glad to
right
be
here.
here. I'm very
Yeah.
glad to be here.
Oh, fun stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, for those that I'm sure a lot of you already know Alex, you've been able to talk with him a lot on our Discord. He's so active and personable. It's so inspiring. I love it. Along with that, co-creator for Zombie, the Strain series,
Head developer on that one,
head
actually.
developer, dude, head developer right now, and he's also just so personable on Discord. I love this so much about this company in general. So yeah, and then along with that, helps moderate and watches the campaign that we have ongoing
Yes.
right now. Yeah, so that's why we're going to recap right now what you've missed or what you already saw and what you are about to see with this week's episode. It's episode 2 of Outbreak Undead Zombie. So, first off, we're going to go ahead and play the clip for you, and then we're going to discuss the characters and what the crap is happening in this. Just for a little bit of context, a setup, our crew is out. They've they've traveled beyond Kupko at this point, and they are on a mission to try to secure a boat to be able to provide a safe passage for other members that are in Kupko, which is not in any way IKEA. That is not IKEA, by the way, Kupko.
Coop means
And then
quality
Kupko means quality. Yes,
with
it
a K.
with
K
a K.
W
It
A
does.
L I T Y.
Oh my gosh, yes, it does. And in this quest that they have, they they encounter many obstacles, and here is one of them. And we're going to play this clip for you right now. Yeah.
That is, yeah, this is something that you are good at, Bean. One thing you understand
What?
is people.
Oh no, I didn't make my character around that correctly.
Uh,
Sure, I've got a way with people, I guess.
Hmm.
Hey, let me talk to them, everyone. I feel like, when I'm in a situation in a medical emergency, everyone listens to me for some reason, and that's gotta count for something.
Let's hope it does.
All right, be careful. I got you covered.
You see the same person that you saw bring the drinks comes out, and she's dragging something along the ground across the road, and just sort of like moves and gets out of the way, like literally just sort of like ducks down with her head like this.
What's up with that? It's an interesting behavior.
Is there any reason in your previous lives any of you would know anything particular about law enforcement?
I've been arrested.
You know, I'm gonna say you're a guy that has probably had one too many and driven a little too far more than once, and you kind of like to watch cops and watch what happens to other people.
Mhm.
Those are stop sticks. If you drive over it, it will shred the tires.
Got it. Okay. So
I will also say, Madison, you realize the big man is still standing there, and the person that brought the drinks is standing there, but the third guy that was with him, you don't see anymore. And
Lost eyes on the third one, guys.
mm-hmm.
Like, all right, so y'all gonna pay the toll, right? I want y'all just take it easy, and this is gonna go great. But if you try some fuck shit, I will fill that vehicle full of lead. You understand?
I kind of climb over Nathan and just stick my head out of his window.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got it. We got stuff to pay. Your toll, whatever the toll is, maybe.
What's the toll?
What's the toll?
Well, I'm gonna come and take a look on board and tell you what I want, because cash don't mean shit no more.
That sounds fair. It sounds like a real reasonable thing to do.
Give me your detect motive roll there, Bean.
It's a 78 out of 60.
No, this seems legit, Bean. Oh, do remember, not necessarily that you want to use them now, but I should point out again, remember you do have 2 competency points. So you do have that resource to draw on to convert into 2 successes.
I should use that now, huh? Because I'm probably gonna die otherwise. I've used one for one success, or is it 2 for 1 success?
Well, one is 1 per 1 success. So right now you rolled a 78 against what, a 69? Was that what you said?
Yeah, against a 60.
78 against a 60.
Yeah.
So that is 2 degrees of failure, right? Because you're to 70. Oh no, that's 1 degree of failure.
Oh.
So yeah, 1 degree of failure.
Okay. Yes,
I'm math good. It's late.
I don't even know.
So here is what would happen. If you want to use 1, you move it down to no successes and no failures. It's a push. It's kind of a coin toss. Okay. Or you can edge it over into 1 success in this case. Because right now you're at 1 degree of failure. So one of your successes cancels that out. One of your successes would push you to a net positive.
I go with a push.
Go with a push?
Yep.
Letting this dude on board is probably not the right move. Bean, you got a machine wielding man inside the ambulance. There's nothing to stop him from
taking everything.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, team. Suddenly, B becomes very commanding. All right, team. We can't let this. We're on this bus to freedom, and we gotta figure out how to get around the situation or to run them over. Because we can't go over those spikies, and we can't kill this guy on the what I just call this thing, the freedom van. So what are we gonna do?
Well, this is horrible. Just gonna say that right now.
Right.
What if we shot first?
I'm okay with that. But we don't know how many of them there are.
We do not.
Can turn around and take our chances with whoever's back there. Because they may be, I don't know if they're going to be reasonable, but we don't know. I don't like this guy at all.
If we took him out, I will preface that I played a lot of video games in my before life. Or we could just go.
I mean, if we get our hands on that machine gun, then that changes everything.
Y'all are stalling, contemplating doing something stupid. So I'm gonna help y'all by giving you to the count of 5.
The count of 5, we shoot him. Let's go, Pharaoh.
1.
You have a shot.
Turn the car.
I'm gonna move forward. I'm moving forward so that they can get a shot.
Okay.
All right. We're moving.
Is your objective to shoot him and turn around, or just shoot him?
I would hope that Nathan would turn the car so that we could get a shot out the side instead of having to go up top in the process of maybe doing a 3-pointer and then turning tail. Because if we miss or roll bad, we're going to have to haul ass.
So what's going
Yeah.
to happen? Remember, both sides have the slats. So theoretically, one person can shoot. If your goal is for both of you to shoot, someone has to go up to the top. Because it was meant for more for defense, not for offense. 2.
Turning it to the side.
Okay.
Pharaoh gets into the front seat with her long gun.
Okay. 3.
And I pop out
Bean,
the.
Bean,
Okay.
tell him that we're gonna open the back for him.
We're opening the back of the car for you.
And just tell him we're ready for him to come. We're here. We mean no harm, and that we're ready for him to come meet us here, so we can do our transaction.
We're turning the car around, and we do have like some chips. If you would like some of those, they're very good.
He's like, well, all right then. I got some appeal to logic. I don't know if you's awares, but he just kicks the stop sticks. He's like, you try and run me over, and not only am I going to shoot your ass, but you're going to shred your tires, and then the boys here is going to make short work of you. And he starts coming forward, just kind of holding the machine gun.
We have to shoot him and turn around, I think, everybody. So let's do that.
Let's take that machine. I don't know. Ooh. All right, I'm in position. The rest is up to you
Do
guys.
you try and let him get close enough that if you kill him, you could retrieve the machine gun? That
I
also
would
means
like
he'll
that
be close.
machine gun.
He'll be close enough to potentially open fire if you miss.
Well, we've got 2 long-range people that are about to train on him. We've got a pretty decent time.
Let's do
I'm
it.
I'm
Let's
getting
do it.
this
We're
is
gonna
what I'm
try to
doing.
retrieve the machine.
Yep. As soon
Okay.
as he gets close enough, I'm
Mhm.
gonna open. So the car, my driver's side door is facing away from him. So I'm opening mine, and I'm gonna get a hold of my shield if I can do that. I'm gonna get
Mhm.
ready when he drops. I'm gonna
Okay.
get ready, run out there, get the gun, and get back in.
All right. Hold on a second here. Since you guys have a plan, we'll give you the benefit of having aimed. Sorry, I didn't mean to deafen you by beating on the mic there. Which aiming will allow you to instant special rule in a weapon. Okay. All right. Both of you make your checks. Firearms for a Pharaoh and the crossbow for Madison. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
And the tension builds. Like
No
I
kidding.
said, yes, Alex, let us talk about this latest episode of Outbreak Undead. I mean, this is year 0. Obviously, you can catch day 0 on our Gen Con stream that we have on YouTube and also on Twitch with VOD. But just for like a quick thing of who you're watching, if you're joining us for the first time, you have our game master, B. Dave Walters. You've seen him in a variety of other things. We have Michelle Wynn Bradley as Ben Lee, Louis Carrazzo as Nathan Marquez, Maylee Damage as Madison Martell, and then myself, Markeia McCarty as Pharaoh Moore. So yes, Alex,
Season cast.
you you're watching every Tuesday. I love that you're here right now. Give us some of your impressions. You can incorporate last week to it and what's going on now. Just roll with it.
Oh, well, I mean, the the way the session kind of kept rolling there last week, obviously the clip cuts off before all of that, but things
That was
take kind of a things take kind of a hard swerve there right towards the end. I'm really going to be curious to see how the next session kicks off as a result of that. It's going to be intense. That's for sure. And I love the audacity of those guys that B Dave threw at you. The here is the president of the
Right?
United States.
What? I mean, first we get, rub my belly, pay my toll. And then later on we get what? This is home of the president of the United States of America,
Oh yeah, we're
populated by
talking
children.
we're talking the governor and Negan levels of just ego there. It's astounding. Um,
Yeah. But I like
and
to think in an Umbrella Academy number 5 package, possibly. This is speculation. I have no idea.
we're gonna have to see where it goes. We're gonna have to see where it goes. I think that's the beauty of the series so far for me is B Dave's always been really good as that with that as a storyteller. Um, every session always leaves you hooked and wanting more. He's got a very good method of trying to leave you on just that ramped up moment, so that way you're just dying to see what happens next. So yeah, that's been a really fun experience. I've really been enjoying seeing what the cast and B Dave have been doing with the setting that I've spent. Technically, this has been being developed since all the way back in first edition when I was a fan. The first time that I started doing anything with Zombie was actually for a home game for first edition. And back when Hunters ran an old school forum, I kind of posted like recaps of sessions and things like that on there for people to kind of look over, and was just putting little photos up and stuff. And that slowly but surely just kind of kept developing over time as I came on here. And so it's been really cool to see something that I started that long ago actually being utilized by other people and seeing their takes on it, especially because the way B Dave's throwing it at you is entirely different than the way that I normally actually run with it. And I totally get it too, because for a stream, especially a condensed one like this, you want to ratchet up the tension really, really fast and keep everybody hooked. And Zombie, the way I run it, is more of a slow burn virus. So you have the whole tension of a person starts getting the sniffles. Does that mean that they have actually caught the zombie virus, or do they just have a cold? And you got to worry about that quarantine facet and everything that we're dealing with now. Um, and it's designed so you can take it both ways. So it's really cool seeing that ramped up intensity version of it, because it's not the way that I run it at all. Yeah, that's been really fun.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give a quick breakdown of the episode while you think on it. I am very curious for you to tell us one of whatever comes to mind, one of the most intense sessions that you've had within, well, let's say intense encounters that you've had within one of the sessions that you've run. I'm just curious on a personal level, like whatever that came in. And while you think of that, just for everyone else, and then please like interact with us in the chat room. Tell us your
Yeah.
favorite moments of this past episode.
For
We want to
sure.
know them because we also want to like talk on this right now. We've got a little bit of time before we go into like our deep dive of building your own Outbreak Undead character with the creator. For me, he's over here. I don't know it might be over here, but for me, he's over here with the creator. The person in my ear, also known as the awesome JB, our tech wizard, just told me I'm pointing in the right direction.
Nice.
But yes, before we go through like building the different ways that you can build a character for your own campaign or for the people in your campaign, if you are a B Dave Walters and you're an Alex and you're GMing for other people, the way that you can help them out. So just a real quick spiel of what stuck out for me for the outline for this past episode 2. So with Kupko, we go into more of the personal lives of our cast that, the cast that I just said, like Nathan, Pharaoh, Madison, and also Bean. And with this, we find a little bit more about Anthony and Ophelia, and also Pharaoh's story. We find out that it is Pharaoh's birthday, the day that she leaves Kupko. In fact, her moms, Kirby and Leisha, had left her a rechargeable solar powered USB thing for her phone. And in that, she ended up giving Pharaoh's awesome mix to Anthony and Ophelia, who are two children that live in Kupko, and save these children. I want nothing to happen to these children. They're pretty much the spy masters of Kupko in general. And along with that, we have a really touching scene with Hammer Time. If you remember him from episode 1, who was literally fighting off the Ragers, the undead, with a hammer. And he had a very touching episode, touching segment with Madison Martell, who is just the Hawkeye of the group, played by Mei Lee, which is like, boom. And yeah, very something to look forward to. But the main thrust of the episode is that the leader of Kupko, of their base, Knowlton, she gives them a variety of quests that they have to choose from. Whether you can get water for your base, which was actually the closest mission. You can get a boat, which was further away, Santa Monica, Malibu area. Get a plane from the Van Nuys airport to then, let's get the freak out of town, or get more survivors who might have more information, resources, a better view of what's going on outside of Kupko in general at the Hollywood Bowl. And our crew decided to get a boat. They were like, we're going to secure a rich person's yacht, something big, to then get everybody out of there. So they were in their tricked out ambulance, also known as the Freedom Van, and then went off to their the things that happened, like you saw in the clip. So
Freedom
Alex,
Van right to the president.
I know, right?
It works so well.
Oh yeah. Everything is going swimmingly as is wont to do in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah,
so
silky
Alex, what is
smooth.
one of the intense encounters that you have had in your campaigns?
So I think one of the more intense ones that I've had was actually when I was doing development still with Zombie. There's 3 scenarios that we actually package right with the book itself, that can kind of take you from the initial day 0 type situation out to about 1 year into the outbreak. So if you kind of spread them out with a few of your own little scenarios in between, you kind of have the makings of a campaign available for you. The second part of that campaign starts off with the players actually in, there's an organization in Zombie called Orca within the United States. It's a government body that's set up in response to the outbreak that's known as the Outbreak Response and Containment Agency. And while they're in the Orca camp, it actually gets overrun by zombies right away at the beginning. So it's one of those scenarios that's kind of like how B Dave likes to start off a lot of his sessions with being right in the midst of the action. Just as soon as it kicks off, they're in a combat scenario. And the way it's designed is because the camp is being overwhelmed. It's a very, very intense encounter. And every single time that I ran it during play testing, still up to this day with the final release version, that's probably one of the more intense scenarios that I've actually ever run with Zombie. There's been some interesting ones that have come up where I've been experimenting with one big monsters and things like that as well, because those are always fun to throw in at your players. We toss out lots of those from time to time, so I like to grab one every now and then, just throw them a curveball from, you got used to the standard zombies, now here's this crazy thing that you have to deal with. So those are always really terrifying and frightening. But yeah, definitely the camp being overrun scenario is certainly the most intense.
Yeah, because I'd like to think, because of just apocalypse movies in general, that we all think of, what would you do? I love that this game just totally opens that door and is like, what would you do? Guess what? We have a mechanic for that.
Yep.
We have that in a variety of different ways. You can totally know exactly what will happen.
And
type
where
of
your plan will go wrong, why your zombie survival plan will fail.
Yes, I love that you're wearing the shirt. That's right up here with the I blame Ivan Van Norman from my pain shirt. And
Yeah,
I
this
just want to
I love this one. This one actually, ironically enough, there's a, I don't know if the camera will even be able to pick it up. There's a stain here on the sleeve. That's actually from our photo shoot for the second edition core book. I was actually wearing this when we were out there doing the shoot, and I abruptly decided to be a zombie for the shoot, just to get us some more variety in the zombie faces that we had out there. And some of the fake blood never never washed off the shirt, so I kind of have that as an extra memory on it.
I like that. It's like a souvenir. And that is something for our community to just like run with. When you can be a zombie, be a zombie. As long as it's not a real zombie.
Correct.
Don't be a real zombie.
And don't play into the stereotypes. It's just bad.
Yeah. Oh, and just want to give a shout out to our chat room right now. A full margin was like, the moms got me.
Oh, the
Oh,
moms were so
God.
heart-wrenching.
No.
All the feels.
Doesn't B Dave just do it? Doesn't he just do it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, just the way that he embodied Kirby with just being this like, oh, it's just a beautiful mom, just a beautiful mom character, like heartwarming, and then having plates ready for everybody in their rooms, type of a thing. Like that consideration that happens with a community within a zombie, well, a fortified base, let's say. As a military kid, like just having that kind of sense of community that happens, with
Oh
people
yeah.
that are within a contained environment. Ugh, that all day, all my chords, all my chords, all of them. And then also just want to give a quick shout out to Super Dave 207, the oatmeal pies.
I forgot about the oatmeal pies.
Alex,
Oh man. Oh, that's wonderful.
what were the oatmeal pies for you?
Um, well, honestly, I'm kind of curious what it was for Super Dave specifically. But I don't know. It's really hard for me to pick.
I know for me,
Because like I said at the beginning, for me the hard part is honestly that I'm just so excited to be watching other people doing stuff with this. So I'm loving everything about it. I love all your guys' characters. There isn't one that I have any dislike towards. And just B Dave's GMing has been fantastic. So trying to just pick out individual moments for me is almost soul crushing at this point.
Oh, that's what B-Day does. That and our the cast is our players are just so good at being so human, like tapping into that vulnerability of things. For me, for the oatmeal pies, it's very much like, consider you have this community of people with very limited resources, and you have these two like spy master kids. They just like kind of know what everything is going on with, like, within their dome, like within their world. They have that information, and then for them, but they're still kids, so like an oatmeal pie is a really big deal. To have four of those, that's huge. That's like a month. That's like a month of nibbling that you could on like your favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
And then to give that over to the people, our particular players, to give that over to them as a thank you for helping us not be ravaged by ragers and also burned to the ground. And it's like, they didn't have to do that. To have the juxtaposition of these two kids that are so open and giving in a you give me this, I give you that type of a thing, to
Yeah.
end the episode with, you're the home of the president of the United States, and these kids put a detonator on the top of the car, like a bomb on the top of the car. They're smoking cigarettes. And it's just like that juxtaposition, I think, is so beautifully done.
Well, and it's the human moments for me in Outbreak. That's what I always try to remind people is that a lot of times, obviously, like when you come pick the game up initially, most people are going, "Yeah, I really want a zombie game," and it's all about the zombies. But for me, zombie fiction has always been the human moments. Um, it's the characters. The zombies are just a backdrop that can be a catalyst for that type of drama. And that's why I really love the way that the story has been playing out, is because that's been the focus. It hasn't been constant combat or conflict with the Ragers. It's been those human moments are the real touchstone and focus of the whole series right now. Um, and that is zombie media to me. So it's fantastic. The kids are possibly vying for my favorite characters right now.
Oh, we're going to talk favorite characters right now. Okay.
Possibly, like it's really hard for me to say. At least for the NPCs, I think they might be my favorite characters anyway. I don't know if I could choose between the cast. The last episode, Bean kind of stole my heart.
Yeah.
But on the same note, like I really also enjoy Pharaoh. The through thread connecting back to day zero with Pharaoh, and just the idea, because we haven't gone into it a ton on the show right now, but the idea of the fact that Pharaoh was with this other group of people originally, and then the next episode immediately was a whole new group of people, and just what that ends up actually meaning for Pharaoh and what all that could have led to. So that is a fascinating through thread for me. And then I mean, uh, Mei Lee has just been tearing it up. So um, Madison's not my normal style of character that I normally get into, but Mei Lee has just been hitting it out of the park. So I've been taken to it a lot more than I normally do in a lot of series. So
I don't know if you've seen The Hunt yet. I know it's streaming on a variety of sources. When you get around to seeing that, I will say that Madison Martell reminds me of the lead character from The Hunt. And that's the same
okay,
person that you see on all of the advertisements for it.
okay.
And same energy. And I rewatched that movie after the second episode of Outbreak Undead Year Zero, specifically because of how Mei Lee has been doing Madison, and it reached another level of enjoyment for me. So I will put that out there for
I'll
people.
have to check that out now that I know that. And then Lewis has always been a favorite of mine. I really enjoy his work on pretty much every stream that I catch him on, and the character that he's playing this time around, um, just some of the personality traits are ones that are grating for me, which is which is something that I love actually in characters. So just his whole reaction and response to the outbreak situation that he finds himself in it grinds against my gears, but I love it.
I I love that you said it grinds my gears. One of the things with doing Pharaoh with like Nathan, it's just it feels like they have this fun history together. Like obviously we haven't explored this, but I feel like Nathan is the first person that Pharaoh met after her original group. It just feels like that first contact thing, and he was totally the way that he is now. You know, where's the next drink? I guess we can do this thing, but maybe we should just hide.
Yeah.
Type of a deal. And I love us in the chat. Some people's thing with this a full margin goes, I want to sit with Nate and unpack his damage. I
Oh,
love
that
it
would be a
so
conversation
much.
right there. That would be a
Yeah.
conversation. And yeah, I also have to agree with what is that? I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Foserkid. Forced, Seared, B Dave being the king of terror, just like Ivan. I agree 100%.
Oh, Force Arced.
Force Arced. I'm
Yeah, Force
terrible.
Arced.
I can never see usernames. Like I can see a lot of patterns, but usernames for some reason I'm just like that's a jumble of letters to me.
No worries. This is literally part of my skill tree that I've been building, where it's like I can see a username and then kind of see the breaks in it. Yeah,
I
so
need to get that skill.
happy to be able to utilize that skill. And then just really quick, I want to say from, because I haven't heard of this before, but Not Always Weak, that's Lauren, one of our moderators. They're awesome, by the way. They recommended the News Flesh series by Myra Grant. I have not read that, but that is going on my list now.
Yep,
So
added.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's so much yet to explore with this. With this crew, who knows how many of them will survive to the end, if they'll even survive to the end. We are halfway through the journey with them. That doesn't mean that the journey necessarily ends. That just means that where the campaign will be. Like I said, B. Dave Walters is the GM. Our players are Michelle Wynn Bradley as Vinley, Louis Carrazzo as Nathan Marquez, Maylee Damage as Madison Martell, and myself as Farrell Moore. And yeah, we're in episode 2 of 4 episodes. So hopefully you will join us on Hunters Presents on Tuesdays. That is 8:30 p.m. PT, and see where and how this goes. But when we come back after our 10-minute break, we will be diving deep into how you can build your own Outbreak Undead character. And who better to help us with this journey than Alex Hillman? Oh, you're right. You're right here. You're right here. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, we're going to go through different types of characters. Specifically, we will be going through the 3 different types that you can do, which is our character cards, which is template characters. Think of like pre-gens. You're familiar with those because that is what we use for Outbreak Undead, our campaign right now. We'll also go through making yourself as a survivor, spew, which Alex, tell us what spew means.
That's it's an abbreviation for the core attributes of characters in the game. So strength, perception, empathy, and willpower.
Excellent. And our deep dive will be our fictional point buy. And that is literally how you build your character, like brick by brick. Like Spew is a 40 question quiz, while the fictional point buy is whatever survival person that you can think of that you want to bring into a apocalypse is what you can build. So we hope that you'll stick around. In particular, we want our chat room. Tell us some of your greatest moments that you've enjoyed in the past 2 episodes of Hunters Presents. Also, tell us the stuff that you want to see with the character build, because literally we are going to be building this character with you. And then if we have some time, we'll pop into some scenarios. So we will see you 10 minutes from now. Bio break, hydrate, get ready with your survival mindset, and we will see you then.